I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Jon Jones. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, future jiu-jitsu world champion, Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, boys. UFC 301 to go over, UFC St. Louis to go over, as well as a bunch of news. As always, we're brought to you by two fantastic sponsors of the show, Rogue Energy and ELYXR. Rogue Energy keep me fueled up, whether I'm at the gym, at home, or doing this show. They can help you get to the finish line as well with code SOUNDOFF at checkout, all caps. Soundoff at checkout for 10% off. ELYXR, they're going to get you really high with their Delta 8 products. Once again, code SOUNDOFF, all caps at checkout for 10% off at ELYXR.com. Well, Angel, over the weekend, it happened. UFC 301, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in the main event. I wouldn't say this fight kind of win. I mean, now a lot of people were kind of counting out Steve Erceg. Some people weren't. I thought we gave him a lot of credit. In the end, one mistake away from essentially becoming UFC flyweight champion, Alexandre Pantoja, the cannibal, defeats Steve Erceg. Unanimous decision, 48-47, 48-47, and fucking Stevie Wonder over there at 49-46, not watching the fight. But anyways, yeah, I mean, we talked about this a little bit before we started filming. Very close fight. We both had it 2-2 going into the fifth round. In the fifth round, Steve Erceg shooting for a takedown, which ends up costing him. Pantoja reverses, gets on top, essentially rides out the rest of the round, gets the win. I mean, look, man, it was a Steve Erceg putting forth a great performance. If the rankings committee had balls, they'd put him at number 2 or number 3. They won't. But
if not at least above, I forgot who it was. Can you pull them out real quick? Because I actually,
yes, sir. Yeah, he moved up to number 9. Can
you scroll down a little bit just because I have a hard time seeing? They could have at least put him like 7, in my opinion.
I mean, over Manel Cape, who's not even going to be fighting a flyweight.
But at the same time, the one thing about it is Mateus Nicolau coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Man, no. And then Manel Cape hasn't fought in a while, and just Muhammad Mokaev, who is on a streak, the other guy in the division who could challenge the fight. I thought that would have been a responsible place to put him if they didn't want to put him as high as, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Definitely a spirited effort from him. Like we said, he got very close to winning, and Pantoja, I guess like his coaches were saying, like, let him take you down. You know what I mean?
They weren't wrong.
Yeah, they weren't wrong because he instantly reversed him. And Steve Erceg afterwards kind of saying that, I blew it.
He felt that immediate heartbreak right after. You could see it in him, just like,
I know,
dang.
And it's like, and some people are like, oh, he's so young, he's a future champion, but it's like, man, it's tough to get back there, and this is a once in a lifetime shot, especially considering the circumstances.
No, you're not wrong, but he's 27.
Yeah,
he's ranked. What is he? He's
ranked number 9 now.
Ranked number 9. Give it time, he'll be there.
You're not wrong. I think he's still a dog in this.
And I think the UFC kind of like him now. Like, I think they kind of appreciate that he came in. They saw they've seen the kind of fights he can deliver. They see he likes to fight regularly. We might see Steve Erceg in a few months again, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he's been very active since coming to the UFC. Like, this fight, just fought 2 months ago. Before that, he fought 3 months before that. Before that, he fought 4 months before that. So he's staying active every 3 to 4 months. He's fighting.
So yeah, let's give it 4 to 5 months, and I think we'll see him back in the cage late this year. Against who? That's a big question. I actually don't know who they put him in there against.
I mean, I think realistically,
Alex Perez.
I mean, it could be Perez if he ends up winning against Tigre. Yeah. It could also be Muhammad Mokaev if Mokaev gets another big win. And then Mokaev said he's booked, but he hasn't announced the opponent. So
I saw something that they think it's Roybal. That's people think it's Roybal.
That'd be interesting. Dude, could you imagine if Royval beats him and then just fucks up that whole
It's like, do we give Royval
do we give him a title shot?
A trilogy?
I mean, fuck, dude. I mean,
it's not like they haven't done it before, right?
I mean, they almost ran. If Brandon beat Brandon Royval, they're gonna have him fight Pantoja for a 4th time. So
the quadrilogy.
Exactly. So
another one for Brandon Moreno.
I know, fucking hell. But at least Davison beat Brandon Moreno at one point. You know what I mean? So
who do you think Brandon Moreno will fight late this year, early next year? I know because he's gonna be gone for a while, but now that the division's kind of been playing out a little bit.
I'd probably book him against shit. He's active, so it wouldn't happen. But could you imagine him against Steve Erceg?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that's a banger fight. Put that in Mexico or Australia.
Well, actually, fuck that. We actually know the UFC's going back to Australia, so we might see Steve Erceg then against just some random lower end flyweight
against I don't know who.
They might not even be ranked. Yeah, potentially, or they might not even be ranked.
You think we'll give them like kind of like a tune up and like a big moment?
Maybe. I'm just saying just because of the turnaround. Because when are they going back to Australia? How long is that from now?
It's gonna be in September. 4 months.
Well, that timeline works out.
It does.
Well, then yeah, maybe they can actually get him a good 3-month training camp or 2.5 months, however they do. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah,
they got time though. But yeah, man, flyweight, the flyweight division's popping. It's really just Pantoja is just so good, and that's kind of the problem.
And he's already fought a lot of these guys already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if, like, for example, we just mentioned Alex Perez. Alex Perez got choked out inside like a minute by Pantoja back in 2022. Now, granted, that was 2 years ago. And it looks like Pantoja is starting to decline. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's 34.
Yeah,
he's 34. He takes a lot of damage.
So many wars.
Yeah. So it's like I said, he's not gonna probably be here a long time because of that, in my opinion. But at the same time, he's done his due. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, if you look at his losses, too, I mean, it's Figueroa, long time ago. Dustin Ortiz, long time ago. And Askar Askarov, who I said was going to be a future UFC champion, and then proceeded to dip after he lost one fight.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He had health stuff come up, though.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Although he like, instantly signed with ACA. But yeah, I mean, look, dude, Pantoja, I mean, I really don't know who's going to be next for him. It's just one of those things you have to let play out. But you know what, though, Angel? There's another Brazilian, an all-time great, former champion who fought on this card.
By the way, was this? I don't even know who you give DTF Fighter of the Week.
I think we can disagree on this one.
Sleeper pick Steve Erceg, to be honest.
That's a good pick, but I got to give it to Jose Aldo.
Above Anthony Smith, yeah.
Yes, over Anthony Smith. Because I mean, you gotta just think about it. I mean, Vitor Petrino, a good guy, but kind of like unproven, you know.
That was Josh. Now
Jonathan Martin. No. I'm just saying, like, I picked both. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, no, I picked both against both these guys. Just to be fair, I do not know shit about MMA, Angel. I don't know a fucking thing. Every week I come on here with my dumbass takes.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, look, dude, Jose Aldo Jr. coming back here. I mean, flawless. I think a flawless performance. Jonathan Martinez couldn't land anything. And we kind of knew that Jose Aldo has always been he's one of the few guys, I think, like in MMA, that's very technically proficient on defense from everywhere. Now, that doesn't mean you can't hurt him. And especially over the course of a fight, like Peter Yan broke him down over the course of 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, or you can catch him early. Someone kind of like Connor did. You know what I mean? But for the most part, Jose very competent everywhere. All phases on defense.
I mean, he stopped, 16 takedowns against Marab or some crazy at elevation.
Exactly, at elevation. And facing guys Jonathan Martinez, who's won 6 in a row, like something like 4 of them by knockout, including against guys like Cub Swanson. Dude, checking all the leg kicks, couldn't land anything in terms of the boxing. And dude, in round 3 was like, it was like a fuck you. It was like a fuck you, y'all must have forgot moment.
By the way, did you watch any of the embeddeds and see any of that stuff with him?
I did not.
Dude, it felt so vintage. Like, it felt like he was just starting over. Like, him in the favelas with his bike, riding out of the gym with his backpack and the blue tank top. There was just something about that felt so, like, I don't know, like, he's just getting started again.
Yeah.
It felt nice. I felt for him. To talk about a little bit about Jonathan Martinez, though, Josh, you got to feel for the guy, right? Afterwards, you saw the instant frustration in him, the instant just disappointed in himself that he couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
in the big moment. But hey, he's stuck in there with a legend. It was a big moment for him. It was in Brazil. He traveled far away. He got the shot, didn't end up coming through. But he's still a ranked guy. He still has the possibility of getting big fights. And on top of that, he kind of got his name out there. Didn't get the result he wanted. But at the same time, he was fighting. I think this, like you said, his downfall was on top of, like, because Jose had such great defense. Jonathan Martinez was never really able to get anything going.
Yeah,
like he never really got started. Like there was like a few exchanges, like, and that was something I think they even said on the broadcast. Is like Martinez is not throwing enough. Like he's throwing 1s and 2s. He needs to be doing 3, 4s, and 5s out there because he's not going to be catching them with these smaller combinations, you know.
Yeah.
And when he did throw more, you know, you saw him break a little bit through, get a little bit there, and you kind of saw Aldo kind of give a reaction at times. But the thing is, Martinez didn't have enough of those moments to build up upon. I mean, it was a hard puzzle to solve. But guys, to kind of come to a conclusion, though, Jose Aldo is a ranked fighter once again in the UFC after being 2 years removed from the sport. Around 2 years, right? Not exactly.
Almost, yeah.
Well, let's give it 2 fucking.
Fuck it, who cares?
I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, Jose Aldo could come back in here after, like I said, almost a 2-year layoff and potentially be fighting for a title. I know that's kind of out there, but you got to think about the kind of, the kind of caliber of a fighter we're talking about. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize, dude, there was a point in time where Jose Aldo was in the conversation for all-time great.
Yep.
Not even just, you know, good or great fighter in his weight class. We're talking about all-time, regardless of weight class, and still might be in the conversation, I think, for that.
I feel like he has to be in the conversation still.
Yeah, I mean, because of his longevity in some capacity, right?
I mean, dude, he's going to be 38 in September.
How long was he champion? Can you
He's champion for a decade, a literal decade. If we're counting WCE and UFC
we're counting,
combined,
we have to count it.
Combined, it was literally 10 years. So
how old was he when he started? He was young. We looked this up. He's one of the youngest champs ever.
Correct. We can look this up. So he's 38. He's 37 now. Excuse me.
He's gonna be turning 38 this year.
Correct. Won the title back in 2009. WEC title. Kept it until 2016. So not 10 years exactly, but he was undefeated for 10 years. That's what I meant. So yeah, man, won it in 2009. That would have made him 15 years ago.
By the way,
22 years old.
Insane names in there. Insane names leading from the WEC into the UFC.
I mean, we can run down Coach Swanson, you know, all-time great at featherweight, you know. Mike Brown, former WEC champion. Uriah Faber, former WEC champion. Manny Gambarian, longtime contender. Mark Hominick, former title challenger. Kenny Florian, title challenger across multiple divisions. Chad Mendez, former title challenger against multiple divisions. BKFC great, Chad Mendez. No, I mean, Frankie Edgar, former UC lightweight champion. Chan Sung Jung, multiple division title challenger. Ricardo Lamas, longtime challenger. Chad Mendez, we know the deal there. Frankie Edgar, we know the deal there. Jeremy Stevens, longtime title challenger. Renato Moicano.
Money
Moicano, challenger, contender in 2 different weight classes at this point. Marlon Chito Vera, contender not multiple divisions, but a contender at bantamweight. At all of this point, contender multiple divisions. Too. Yeah. Pedro Munoz, former, contender. Rob Font, another contender. John Martinez, who was a 6-fight win streak and a contender. Dude, he's an all-time great. I don't give a fuck. I mean, look, dude, it is, and he breaks all the rules. You know what I mean? Like, we picked against him, and it makes sense why we picked against him. He's about to be 38 years old, fighting at bantamweight when he started his career as a lightweight.
He's an anomaly, right? That's the thing about greats, right? They break all stats and whatever, right?
I mean, dude, and you mentioned a title shot. I saw somebody point this out. It's like, it sounds a little bit crazy on paper, but let's think about it. He's ranked in number 8. Who is above him? Song Yudong, loss. Just coming off a loss. Figueroa, no thing there. You can give him. That's a guy who's in front of him, just straight up.
That could be a good fight too.
Good fight. I was gonna say they should book that one next. But Cejudo coming off a loss. Marlon Vera coming off a loss.
A bad loss.
Petr Yan coming off a win, but will be out until next year. Corey Sandhagen just got booked, and Marab expected to fight Sean potentially at the Las Vegas Sphere in September. So that's it. That's everybody.
And they could totally pay Jose Aldo and Sean the kind of money they want to fight each other.
Exactly. And you know what, dude? I think Jose Aldo might win that fucking fight.
Damn.
I really think he might. And, dude, if he becomes UFC champion at, 38 years old at bantamweight, not only would he break the curse, you know what I mean?
Right.
The only man to ever do it is Tyron Woodley, which is really fun.
Also, on the other side, for Sean, right, he would get the pleasure of fighting
a legend.
A
big fight.
Yeah,
exactly. And they dude, they could even do that. They could do that in Brazil. They could do that in MSG. They could do it so many places. It makes
what do you mean,
much
dude?
Sense.
They're gonna do it in the place that matters most.
Montana.
To Sean, Montana.
Dude, I hope so. Yeah, that'd be really funny. No, but I mean, look, dude. Aldo, all-time great. I mean, if you want to put him in the GOAT conversation, I would have no problem with that. I think he has to be top 10 at this point still.
He's an all-time great.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. One day we need to go through and kind of develop a list, see where we kind of put him.
I agree. Yeah. But, hey, man, hell of a win. So proud of him. You know what I mean? What a GOAT, dude. But you know who's also a GOAT after this weekend? I got to eat a lot of crow. I talked a lot of shit, and to be fair, so did a lot of people. Anthony Lionheart Smith defeats Vitor Petrino. Your DTF fighter of the week, Anthony Smith. No, it's just
I actually don't know who I'd give DTF fighter of the week.
It's
There's so
really-
many people
it's tough.
who were I'd say like in some capacity, but who was really down to fight this week? You know what I mean?
it's tough. It's a tough week to pick, but yeah, man. Look, Anthony Smith. Hey, by the way, Dustin Poirier had to be loving this night. A couple of gillies getting jumped, man. Anthony Smith gets one of them, submits Vitor Petrino inside of 2 minutes. Fantastic performance. What'd you make of it?
I've said it on the show multiple times when we've talked about Vitor Petrino, and I even highlighted him last year because I think I gave him my rookie of the year last year. He's good, but at the same time, guys, he's a 26-year-old 205er in a division that's very light, and he's not been in MMA that long, hasn't been in the sport that long. He's gonna, if he does lose it, it's gonna happen. Especially he might even get loose to some of these vets. I think I even said that. At some point, he might get caught up in something. He might make some sort of mistake. And the broadcast has called him out on certain stuff he's done in fights. And, well, it happened. It happened in this fight. He got caught in the guillotine. And Anthony Smith, who's a good jiu-jitsu guy, which, I mean, he's already, he might have to compete in jiu-jitsu here soon against
Alex Pereira.
But
Poetan.
we'll talk about that later if we do end up coming across that. And, man, I mean, he got it done, man. I will say, though, if the fight did go on and it stuck on the feet longer, I think Victor, the fight could have maybe gone a different way. Maybe Vitor Petrino would have been able to get an edge. But if the fight was going to end, it was going to end the way it did. I think it was going to be an Anthony Smith submission. I'm not sure. Maybe, and it's just because of the way I feel like Anthony Smith's been lately. I'm not sure if he was going to knock out Vitor Petrino, but I thought if a mistake was going to come, it was going to be in some form in the way it did happen, and that's the result we got. I did pick Petrino, but it was just because Anthony Smith was not looking good there, and it was a little bit on the downtrend.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, look, a solid performance by Anthony Smith, Lionheart picking up the win, dude. I mean, I agree with you that if the fight stayed on the feet, but I mean, it did. You know what I mean?
It didn't.
So,
It didn't matter.
good win.
I mean, he
good.
choked him out on the feet, so. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, good for him. Yeah, I mentioned it was a night of gillies. Michel Pereira picking up a submission win over Ilhor Pereira. This fight went basically the way that we expected. Pereira went out there, rocked his shit, and submitted him inside of a minute. I mean, flawless victory, basically. I mean, there were some people who were like, "Oh no, he flipped on him, and I could have hit him, and why didn't they deduct?" I saw some people who were mad about it. I'm like, dude, you guys fucking hate fun. Like,
right.
I'm a believer.
You should have soccer kicked him down there too. Right?
I'm a believer in the idea that if it's cool enough, they should let it go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was definitely cool enough to let it go. What'd you make of it?
I mean, solid, man. I will say, did you see the drop was bad?
It was.
After he choked him out and let him go.
Oh yeah,
he felt bad.
Oh yeah.
After he felt bad and I felt bad. I'm just putting it out there.
I didn't feel bad at all, dude. By the way, the fucking irony of having Ilhor Pereira fight right after Shogun Rua got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then he got fucked up.
It's kind of poetic justice, isn't it?
You can't write that stuff. Good night for Shogun, man.
By the way, is Michel Pereira and Cal Borrelio, who we'll talk about here in a moment, both broke through the rankings. Yeah. Finally, they're both going to be due for big fights. I'm excited, Josh. New names at 185, and 185 is rising. Whoever's going to be champions division is going to have their work cut out for them.
I know.
Right now, it's Dricus. Izzy's about to get, from what it seems to be in the rumors that are looking, kind of been put out there. Those guys are just going to be able to see in the mix, and obviously Robert Whitaker fighting Chimaev, and Strickland fighting Costa. I mean, obviously all the guys who've been there in the past few years are still there. But, I mean, we're talking about, Brendan Allen, I know, but he's breaking through. Nasrin Imamov, Chimaev, Cabral, Michel Pereira, Fluffy Hernandez. And Ikram Malaskarov, who I know is not in the rankings, but we know will be soon at some point. I mean, 185, dude, I love this new blood era. I don't know who's going to break through. I don't know who's going to hold it down. Maybe Israel Adesanya might get back to that title and stand at the top. Maybe Dricus du Plessis will hold it down. But I'm excited.
Dude, same here. Very excited. I mean, Pereira and Braulio breaking into the rankings. You got guys like Hamzat finally coming up, finally fighting. It's a good time, man. It's a good time for 185 pounds. So if you look at the top contenders in this division, these guys have been around for fucking ever.
They're just that fucking good.
Yeah. It's kind of like lightweight in that way. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, as far as Pereira, great performance. Kyle Barallo, though, he's kind of the guy I want to talk about more.
Which is clean.
Just clean, dominant. Paul Craig, man, he moved down to middleweight, hoping that he could kind of, make a run. And instead, he's just gotten brutalized. Brandon Allen dominated him. Now Kyle Barallo, who is for real. In case there are any questions, the Natural. What a great nickname. Just straight up stole that shit from Randy Couture. But yeah, I mean, now came in off the Contender Series, won 5 fights in a row, several of which coming by way of finish. What do you make of his UFC future?
I mean, he needs time. I think there's still some stuff to improve on. He's good, though. I think with time, right matchups, I mean, I could see him, in a year and a half, maybe challenging for a title potentially. I don't think maybe over a year and a half to 2 years. I don't think it's going to be in a year. But granted, you never know. Maybe if opportunities show up, he's at the right place, right time. He can make some stuff happen. But I do think there's definitely some people along the way that I would pick him again, that I would pick to beat him. But you see the potential.
You do see the potential. I mean, competent on the feet, good on the ground, very well-rounded guy, not that old. I mean, he's 31, but
smart, right? He didn't entertain the ground game at all.
Yeah, and what's funny is he probably could have been competitive with him on the mat, but he's just you know what?
Not taking that risk.
Yeah, fuck it. Why would I?
Beat the shit out of you on the feet.
Exactly. Great win. Yeah, great win by him. A lot of potential. I mean, obviously, Pereira was kind of the guy who made more headlines, which makes sense. I mean, he did crazy flip, got a guy out of there inside of a minute. But I was very impressed by Kyle Barallo, Overall, dude, a solid main card. It wasn't anything extraordinary. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything too impressive, but it was a fun night. Loved seeing Aldo come back. Loved seeing Smith pick up a win. Pereira, Barallo, great performances. Prelims were, they were all right. They weren't, kind of like the main card. They were okay. Joe Anderson Brito, the main fight I saw people talk about, Joe Anderson Brito defeating Jack Shore. Dude, Jack Shore with a fucking hole in his leg.
Dude, that was insane.
That was brutal.
I was a little surprised they stopped it, but granted, I don't know what medical issues could occur if they didn't stop it.
I'm a believer in the idea that they should stop when that sort of thing happens. I don't care what your degree is in. If you have a hole that size in your leg and you're bleeding profusely out of it, probably shouldn't be. I mean, I get it.
He went to the hospital and they said he was fine.
I know they did, but it's one of those things that you better be, it's better to be.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what medical issue, the reason medically why they would. I mean, they thought it was a fracture. I think that's what said.
Yeah.
But I wonder if beyond that, if they knew everything was fine, they could have let it go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in hindsight, they probably should have let it go because it was mostly, from what I've read, a cosmetic issue. But at the same time, when it comes to that shit looked bad, so I'm surprised it was just that. So, hopefully
I mean, it's just a shitty way to lose, right?
Yeah, hopefully they run it back. That's my hope. I hate to see this one. Karolina Kocavejec, I mean, approaching 40 years old.
Josh, what did you expect?
It went basically the way I expected. Same time though, it still sucks to see Karolina a long time OG of the game, suffering a loss. Elvis Brunner losing after his horrific weight cut. Not a huge surprise there for me personally.
I mean, it wasn't the most horrific weight cut of the week, Josh.
That's true.
It went to Gummies, right?
Yeah, correct.
Came in 2.5 pounds under, 2 pounds under, 3 pounds under. With his clothes on, and looked like he was on death's door.
Yeah, and he had to be helped to the back. William Gummies. They stopped the fight, dude. Whoever the fuck was helping him with his weight cut.
It had to been an in-camp issue. There's no way that was totally on him.
Exactly. Because it's dude, how do you even let that happen for a guy he cut way more than he needed to, and he looked terrible. So yeah, that was a rough night for him. Drakkar Klose, dude, picking up a winner for Joaquin Silva. Banger. Drakkar Klose just continuing the rise.
Did they get fight in the night? Or did
there was no fight in the night?
Not even the championship fight?
Nope.
What?
Yeah, they've done that.
No bonuses.
2 weeks in a row now. 2 weeks in a row now they've done that. Instead, they just handed out more performance bonuses.
Who did they give them to?
Pereira, Barallo, Mauricio Ruffy, we're about to talk about, and Alessandro Huffy.
Yeah.
My apologies. And Alessandro Costa.
I mean, all those guys deserved it.
I agree with you. Yeah, dude. I thought Drakkar Klose and Silva deserved something, though. That was a very entertaining fight. Yeah. And in round 3, it looks like Drakkar Klose is going to get choked out, and he just fucking fuck it, and then just throws him right into full mount, but it worked.
It kind of did, yeah.
It worked. Hey, man, I know that some people were like, yo, that's the dumbest decision I've ever seen. And they're probably right. But hey, man, if it works, it works. You know what I mean? So, I mentioned him a minute ago. Mauricio Huffy defeating Jamie Malarkey. First round knockout. God damn, this kid looked good.
Dude, only 9 fights too, I think. Like
Yeah.
9 or 8 fights, something crazy like that. He was entertaining. He was fun. I had no idea how he was gonna do, but fuck, did he look good? He did the little Batman takedown. You know, if you know, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That shit was sick, dude. And fighting a guy in Jamie Malarkey, too, who's been around for a long time. Not really like a long time, but I mean, he's on year 5 in the UFC.
He's been able to stick around.
Exactly. Way more experience, and to just get him out of there like it was nothing, impressive as fuck, dude. I love that. That was my performance of the night. If I had to give one out personally,
Yeah. Give that man 100K, honestly.
for sure. Ismail Bonfim defeating Vince Pichel.
Bounce back.
Vince Pichel, like I said, he had some moments.
He's
you know,
competitive.
tough guy. And then last fight I want to highlight, Alessandro Costa getting out Kevin Boyas inside of 2 rounds. Great win by him. Yeah, flyweight staying popping, man. Staying going. Any closing thoughts in 301, man?
Look, I thought it ended up being a fun night of fights. I gave this card like, I mean, some people might hate me for this.
Yeah,
An 8. I gave it an 8. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of finishes. I was entertained.
yeah.
I was attached to the screen. I was invested. I loved the main card. Look, were the names big? Was there a lot of important
Starbound?
fights?
No.
You know, but was there a lot of entertainment there? Fuck yeah, there was. Come on, be realistic.
I won't
Was
argue with you,
was
man.
it worth the pay-per-view? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but you know, I'll be transparent about that. But
Yeah.
if I'm talking strictly about the fighters and what they presented to me and what they gave me in quality, and talk about the fights, not the product, not anything else, just the fighters.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
And I also think the fact that you watched it on your local Buffalo Wild Wings probably influences your score.
I did not watch it on my local Buffalo Wild
Oh,
Wings.
you didn't? You paid for this one?
Yeah, I did. Pay for
Okay,
this
my
one.
bad.
We watched this one together.
Okay, got you.
At worst, I give it a 7.9.
7.9. I'm gonna go with 7.1. I will actually agree with you that it was a pretty good card. It's just it is really hard to have, even if they're entertaining fights, they're still fights of no consequence. You know what I mean?
No, they're
So,
not. But I ended up having fun. I want to give
I had
credit.
fun.
I want to give love because, dude, there's so many times people shit on a card or shit on a fight night because they don't know the people.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's so unfair. It's like, dude, that's where all these guys are going to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these. This is where you find the next whoever. You know, X and Y. You know,
You're not wrong.
there's
Yeah.
some and dude, there's guys in boxing who are on an undercard and they never become anybody. There's guys in the UFC who they might not necessarily be champion, but they could be that action, entertaining fighter. You know what I mean?
Because that's the thing. A lot of, and I know this is like a new fan thing, but there are a lot of new fans who don't seem to understand that. Like, there's like not levels, but I guess there's categories of fighters.
Because like, let's be honest, if I didn't give a fuck about the card and I would have just watched on fucking streaming service or whatever, someone who's streaming this shit and watched some main card, I wouldn't have seen
Beat-ups.
Drakkar Close. I wouldn't have seen Mauricio Hufi. You know what I mean? Or Costa. I would have missed out on all those fun fights. You know what I mean? Just because I would have been like, well, these guys are irrelevant. They don't mean anything. You know, whatever about them.
Yeah.
But I actually, you know, I actually like the sport. You know, I actually care about this sport and want to support the guys that are coming up and want to actually be part of their journey. You know, I don't want to just be there when they're there. I want to be there before that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I pride myself on a lot when when it comes to this is I like watching these guys before anybody knows about them. You know what I mean? Or before they're relevant. Dude, like fucking I remember Shockvot, bro. I remember I was just like, this kid is something. You know what?
Yeah.
Like before anybody knew about him. Pre Carlston Harris fight. I feel like he got some attention.
Oh yeah, when he
after
ran
that
through
fight.
him. Yeah.
And you know, and granted, probably no matter, even if he wasn't like a well-known commodity, even then, like I feel like people still would have picked him to beat Carlston Harris. But it's just because I like Carlston Harris. I care about. And by the way, even that name that I'm saying right there, no one knows who Carlston Harris is.
Yeah.
So you know, this is why I'm talking the way I am right now.
Yeah, and also there is levels to it. Like there's definitely like those guys that fought in 301. There were a lot of them who were like, look, they're not like going to be champion, but a lot of them are very fun guys. And that's all I need. Like there are levels to it. Like there's definitely like, if you don't give a fuck about a guy who's 10-7 fighting a guy who's 12-4 on a UC Apex card, I don't like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys like Huffy, excuse me. I don't want to keep on fucking up the pronunciation. You get my point. Very fun guy. Alessandro Costa opening up the card. Great performance by him. You know what I mean? Like
they're young. They're just showing up, and we don't know what they're.
Yeah, Bonfim with the bounce back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of great performances. So there is levels to it. It was a solid card. I'm not gonna go with 8, but I will go 7. So decent.
I'd say I'm between there.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm being honest.
It was a decent.
But I want to give it. I want to push it.
Yeah, I get you. It was a decent night. Not 300 caliber, not 302, not 303, but it served its purpose well. So that is what it is. Should have added Poeton, but I mean, hey, we can't.
If we would have Poeton in there, I think that shit would have been a 9.
Exactly, I agree. Especially if they would have had him fucking, the grudge match between him and Parker Porter. Like, nah, fucking. They should have. I do think they should have just thrown him against the heavyweight cam. Bring back what's Chase Sherman doing? You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
Fuck it. Who cares? Anyways, man.
Ben Rothwell.
Yeah, exactly.
Todd Duffy.
Yo, dude, poor Todd Duffy. Jesus Christ. Anyways, man. Todd Duffy would get hurt walking off the scale, dude. So
that's fucked up.
Anyways, we got a UFC card coming back this Saturday night from the Enterprise Center, home of the St. Louis Blues, fighting in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a card, man. There are, I will say, main event about as underwhelming as it gets. However, the rest of the card is very good in my opinion, man. We'll start off with the main event, though. Derrick Lewis lost 2 in a row, I believe. Let me double check.
I mean, if I'm being honest, Josh.
4 of his last 5.
Hot take.
Yeah.
This card might be slightly better constructed. After the main event, slightly better constructed than the whole pay-per-view.
301?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm actually in agreement with you. I don't even think that's a hot take.
I don't know. Some people might disagree. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. So Derrick Lewis lost 4 of his last 5. I mean,
but he got hugged in his last fight.
Correct. Got hugged by Jailton Almeida, made love for 25 minutes in Sao Paulo. And then before that, he knocked the shit out of Marcos Rogerio de Lima, who was just overmatched. Before that, he lost 3 in a row. Taking on Rodrigo Nascimento, who was put in the rankings for this fight. He's 4-fight unbeaten streak, but it's not like he's beaten world-class talent. A decision winner for Dontel Mace, split decision winner for Ilir Latifi, split decision winner for Tanner Bozer, a knockout win for Nascimento that was originally over Alan Boudreaux that was overturned due to a failed drug test. Prior to that, he got knocked out by Chris Daukaus. So, I mean, mixed success in the UFC, I would say. Granted, he's only lost 1 fight, but he hasn't faced a high level of competition.
On the younger end of heavyweight, too.
31 years old, so he's basically a child. So yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm very cautious on picking Derrick Lewis at this point in his career. 39 years old, a lot of damage, been through the ringer. I do think this is a very good matchup for him. I think Nascimento is on the ground. He's nothing impressive. On the feet, he's pretty slow and not very technically proficient. So yeah, I think Derrick Lewis is probably going to get him out of there actually relatively easily.
I'm on the same boat.
Yeah, probably a first round knockout, man. I mean, you could see, man. You can definitely see whenever Derrick just doesn't respect who he's fighting. Like I would compare this to the Marcos Rogerio de Lima fight. I think de Lima might have even been ranked 15th whenever they fought too.
That's hilarious.
So, and in that fight, he was just like, you know what, this guy's not on the same.
I think what the UFC's trying to do is also trying to help Derrick kind of rebuild a little bit because he was on that 3-fight losing streak.
Yeah, he was on the 3-fight, faced de Lima, lost, stepped up on short notice to fight Jailton Almeida, and then they, had Koyas in front of all those people in Brazil for 25 minutes. So yeah, man, good.
Yeah, they did hot yoga for 5 rounds.
Exactly, dude. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm really don't have a whole lot to say here. I mean, I think this is going to be a solid win for Derrick Lewis. I think this is a bounce back, and everybody knows that.
I'm in the same boat.
Crowd favorite too. Putting him in front of some fans. You love to see it. Should not be the main event, but hey, you can't win them all, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna go and move down to the people's main event. Joaquin Buckley, St. Louis's own Joaquin Buckley, who has won multiple in a row. A guy that, look, man, I mean, fighting up at 185 was a decent guy, entertaining guy, but I don't think we ever thought he was going to become ranked. I mean, he was kind of on the verge of rankings, but not really breaking through. Since moving down to welterweight, he's won 3 in a row, including knocking out Vicente Luque just March 30th. A month and a half later, he's back, taking on the absolutely fucking massive man out of Uzbekistan, Nurulstan Rozabiov. Fights, he's fought everywhere from lightweight to middleweight. He's going to be fighting a welterweight here.
What's the height, like 6'6"? Something insane.
6'5".
I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, out of Uzbekistan. Fought on that same card that Buckley did, knocked out Sajid Dumas, sent him packing from the UFC. He's won 2 in a row. Not a whole lot of UFC experience, but a lot of experience inside the cage. 46 fights, as well as a handful of boxing matches. This fight is way more intriguing to me than the main event. It's a very fun one. What do you make of it, man?
This is a high risk, low reward fight for Buckley. For Nurston, this is a high reward fight, and the amount of risk, I won't put a quantity on it because Nurston is new. He hasn't fought anybody as good as Buckley has, if I'm being honest, yet in the UFC.
Yeah.
This will be his, in my opinion, at this moment in time, his best matchup. And I'm curious. I mean, I think he's a sleeper. I think people. I don't know what the bet. Oh, can we look up the betting line? This is actually going to give me a clear idea.
I was forgetting one tab.
How people are feeling about this fight, because I'm kind of curious how if it's close or kind of wide.
Buckley is a very small favorite, according to MGM, who is not sponsoring us, by the way. I should say
not sponsored. That is not sponsored.
Not sponsoring us. But I do have an MGM reward.
So it's close. It's close. It's about almost even.
Yeah, basically even.
I'd say that's fair. Because, I mean, Nurston's look good. In my opinion, he's looked good. He has a lot of fights, a lot of experience.
Exactly. Well, it's not even just that.
And he's tall. Yeah. You know, he'd be a hard matchup as a whole for Buckley.
He's beating two guys who aren't necessarily world beaters, but it's the way that he's got.
He's taking care of it. You know, he's done. I will say that Bruno Ferreira fight shocked me.
Savage. Yeah, it took him a minute.
It shocked me because of how Bruno Ferreira debuted and the guy he beat, and then the fact that he was fighting a UFC newcomer and then he lost the way he did. Now, granted, once again, up to that point, we hadn't seen a lot of Bruno Ferreira, but it was still shocking to me.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm going to shock a lot of people here with this pick because I think that a lot of people are probably going to go the other way. I'm going Rustin Ruzavov, or however you say his last name. Yeah. I'm sorry. He's piqued my interest. He seems good. I'm getting the feels from him. You know, I'm getting that tingle, whatever that is. Not the tingle down there, but and it's 170. You know, we haven't seen him fight at 170 yet in the UFC. Mm-hmm. All his fights have been at 185 in the UFC thus far.
Yeah,
I haven't done my full research, but if he can make the weight, he can make the fight. And like I said, I feel like Buckley's gonna have trouble with that range. I know on the ground, Nurston's obviously competitive there too. I've seen some fights where he's had some decent exchanges. And on the feet, we've seen he has that power. We've seen he has that power, bro. Mm-hmm. He can get guys out of there.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious if he could do the same thing against Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, man.
He might just come in and shock. He might fuck everything up at 170 now.
He really might, yeah. Look, dude.
Because Buckley's ranked, right?
Correct. Buckley's ranked number 11. Yeah. Ranked number 11.
God.
Look, dude.
People might be about to find out this week about this guy.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I've been very, very torn on this fight ever since I announced it, right? Like,
I don't blame you on either side, just so you know.
Yeah, like Buckley, more proven guy, seems to be the harder hitter, but I mean, hey, man, Nurston showed a lot of power. I can't help but overlook the massive fucking size difference. That's one of the main reasons.
6'5", and Buckley's already small he's relatively small, I'd say.
He was basically a fucking midget at middleweight.
He would get dwarfed at 185, yes.
Correct. Welterweight's more competitive, but I still think he's still very undersized. I mean, there's a massive size difference between these two. Nurston seems to be the better guy. Seems to be a more well-rounded guy, I guess is the better way to put that. I'm going to agree with you, man. I really am. I've been torn on this one. I could see Buckley going out there and just sparking him, especially if we watch that Cedric Dumas fight. Dumas, before he got clipped and knocked out, he was tagging him. But at the same time, Dumas is 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? Walking Buckley.
And also, he's a standout fighter as well.
Correct. But, dude, I mean, there is such a size difference. I can't help it. I could see, Buckley rushing in and Nurston catching him in something. Maybe even a submission. You know what I mean? I think he's...
see that too.
Yeah. Because he has more submissions wins than he does knockouts. He's very well-rounded. I think this kid is the real fucking deal, Holyfield, and I think he's going to get out, defeat Joaquin Buckley.
Dude, I don't know if you saw it there too. He comes out of the Renzo Gracie Philly gym too.
Yeah.
That's Sean Brady, Eddie Alvarez, those guys, for people who don't know. I think Pat Sabatini too, right?
Correct, yes.
Like those guys are all super competitive, like all great wrestlers. I mean, like their conditioning, physically, how those guys are like great, like peak. So, I mean, if that gives you any kind of idea of kind of the level of where he is coming from and training out of, I mean, he's, that's just so people know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Very interesting guy. I mean,
it's the most interesting fight on this card.
Oh, no, bar none. Yeah, I mean,
I'd say it's I have 3 and they go down perfectly in order. If you know, you know.
Really? Okay. I mean, I agree with that outside of the fact that
it interests me personally.
I got you. No, there's one that is way more interesting to me than I think the ones we're going to go on to mention. But this fight is the most compelling to me personally. think they should have. I can't believe they didn't give these guys the fucking main event, dude. I mean, I get it, but I also don't get it. I mean, I would have loved to see this fight for 5 rounds, but you can't win them all. As far as the rest of the main card goes, I'm pretty sure you just mentioned this one, or at least hinted this one. Alonzo Menafield versus Carlos Ulberg, man.
They deserved a Apex main event. I'll say that.
Really?
I'll put it like that.
Okay.
I think in 5 rounds would be a good fight.
I agree with you. Alonzo Menafield, man, 36 years old now.
He's rising.
Coming on.
Yeah.
He came in, he debuted. We're like, okay, this kid looks like the real deal. And then he suffered a lot of setbacks. But dude, he's looked fucking good. 5 fight unbeaten streak, taking on Carlos Ulberg, who seems to be,
what's it called? The Jaguar? The Panther?
Oh, man, it's a bad Black Jag.
Black Jag.
What a name. Yeah, man. Came to the UFC in 2020. Had the early loss, a fight of the night against Kenny Njoku. Since then, undefeated, including defeating Jon Jones, Pereira, a couple other names. Yeah, man. Very entertaining fight. I can see your point. About them giving an Apex main event. I'm happy they didn't.
That or they deserve to be on that. They could have just waited for UFC Australia. You're not wrong. The UFC card in Australia. But I'm intrigued, dude. I've had a lot of interest in Ulberg ever since he was on the Contender Series. Izzy was in his corner. That was during the COVID era too. And Ulberg just seems. I like Ulberg. He's just a nice guy. I fucking hate the guy. He's nice. He's good looking, and he can kick ass.
I know, dude. What the fuck?
He's it's Luke Rockhold-esque.
He's the man men want to be and women want to be with.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. No, he's a savage, dude. I love me some Carlos
But
Ulberg.
he does have
he's
his
a part-time model, too.
That's
like
what I'm
Rockhold.
saying.
Yeah.
He has his work cut out for him, though, with Alonzo Menafield. Hard fight. I don't think either one of these guys are the rankings. I don't believe so. Maybe Menafield might be.
I think Menafield is. I don't think. No shit. Yeah,
enough.
Alonzo Menafield, number 11. And our boy Carlos Ulberg unranked.
So this will be a breakthrough fight that will put by the way, if Ulberg does win, we'll push out Ryan Spann out the rankings finally, and Ulberg will be a ranked fighter.
Like, it's about goddamn time they got his ass out of there.
Izzy couldn't. The thing is, you guys don't know, but Carlos Ulberg is coming for Alex Pereira. Carlos Ulberg is also a kickboxer. He never fought Alex Pereira.
He's going to avenge Izzy's losses to him.
Well, Izzy already knocked him out at 185.
No, but he's gonna avenge him again.
He's gonna avenge it at 205.
Exactly. There you go.
Could you imagine, dude? That storyline would be crazy if Ulberg got to a title,
but what if he loses and then
Izzy has to avenge Ulberg?
Dude, that. Hey,
what if Ulberg did win though? Wouldn't that be insane too?
That would actually be hilarious, honestly. But look, dude. Hey, man,
he's far away from him, but
yeah,
but it's still exciting. The story's building up in there. I love the guy.
I agree with you. A lot of potential for him to make a run, and this is the first start of it. This is the first fight of it, of really making a run. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The rest of the card: Ortega, Pereira taking on Mateus Rebecki. Banger, very fun fight.
What was the Carlos Pereira's last fight?
Oh man, I can't.
He had like a shocking win, if I remember it, or a surprise win.
Michael Johnson knocked the shit out of him.
Oh, that was the one where Michael Johnson got put out bad.
Oh yeah, it was a rough one. Part of that, he lost 3 in a row, but still a savage. Getting up there in age, 39, but we'll see.
Old for lightweight. Yeah.
Shit, dude. Hey, man, Jose Aldo's about to be 38, killing people.
Granted, though, he's fighting Mateus Rebecki. That's a hard fight.
That is. Rest of the main card, though, Alexandre, Sean Woodson are going to tear the house down.
Yep.
No doubt about it. I mean, they are
DTF fighters of the week right there.
Oh, dude.
Both of them.
Alexandre is always my DTF fighter of the week. Bruce Leroy. I mean, jokes aside, the fact that this motherfucker is hitting his, mid-30s, and he's like, you know what? I am gonna go on a run. Like he's like
I'm just gonna do it. I'll get it together eventually.
Dude, at one point he was 14-12-1 and was on the verge of being cut. He's now 21-14 and just put up a banger fight against Kadze and nearly beat him.
Dude, if he just would have beat Sadiq Yusuf, man.
Exactly. So yeah, man, he's putting on some bangers. Excited to see that fight. Opening up the main card is arguably my second most anticipated fight.
That's up there for me too.
Yeah, Robelis Despinier taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta. I need him to win more than I've needed a fighter to win in a long time.
Who?
Robelis. Because I can't get past Waldo Cortez Acosta taunting and talking shit to a 77-year-old Andre Arlovsky in his last fight. You remember that?
Yeah, but
in
at the
closing
same time,
seconds.
At the same time, though, I am also like, dude, he's been trucking along. Like he's been managing to get through.
I mean, yeah.
By the way, Dominican Republic versus Cuba, that's probably never going to happen again in the UFC ever again.
No way that's ever happened, and you're right. I don't think it's ever going to happen again.
And I don't know if it's ever happened in. Actually, no, never mind. I'm sure there's
I'm
some bad blood.
guaranteed.
There was definitely some bad blood there.
Yeah, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, beat poor, ancient Arlovsky in his last fight and was talking shit and talking.
Granted, though, he did lose to Marcus Rogerio de Lima, so like.
Oh yeah, so no, I think he's gonna get fucked up here, and I need it.
Dude, also like the Robelis like rise is cool as fuck.
Dude, the hype train, it's going, dude. It's going.
When he knocks people out, they don't fucking move.
Dude, he's like the pinnacle of a fucking he's the pinnacle of heavyweight MMA. You know what I mean? Like just a guy who's big as shit, doesn't have great technique, but just somehow.
Granted though, Josh, by the way, we saw it right there. Longest reaching UFC history.
87 inches.
Or not reach, wingspan.
He's coming for Jon Jones.
Well, yeah. And on top of that, also an Olympian.
Yeah.
A Taekwondo bronze medalist. Dude, that's badass.
He's a bad motherfucker, man.
This guy's so cool.
I
really do think he's cool as fuck. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I agree.
Look, I don't think people are like, he's gonna get fraud check eventually. I don't think he's gonna get a fraud check. Guys, he has 5 MMA fights. Like, what the fuck do you expect? He's knocked everybody out in 5 seconds. I don't think that's a fraud check. He just has like no experience.
Yeah, and he got signed so quickly because like they just couldn't help. They couldn't help it. Like
they couldn't, but it worked out. He fought on a fucking pay-per-view and knocked the fucker. Granted, though,
it was
the guy
Josh
he knocked
Parisi
out. I might have been able to knock.
Not
I'd
like
get
that.
Knocked out.
Yeah, but I mean, he's Josh Parisian, and I support fellow Joshes. But look, dude, not a good guy. Not very good. No. Yeah, man. I mean, excited to see where Bella's come back here, man. As far as the rest of the card goes, Chase Hooper taking on Borishev.
By the way, hard fight.
Very surprised they gave that one.
But a good fight. Still, because the thing is with Chase, you need to develop him. You still need to give him hard fight. He's 24. I know, it's crazy.
Fucking hell.
God, dude, he's so cool. Dude, I listened to him on a podcast. Did you I recommend listening. By the way, if you ever have time, go and listen to the Jackson podcast with him. It was actually quite interesting.
Oh, okay.
He talked a lot. He's been out of his house since he was like 17 or 18.
Damn.
On his own with him and his now wife. Which I was like, I respect that.
I do.
On top of that, dude, this guy was like on some movie shit, backdoor casino fighting, underage. He's talking about his championship fight that he got, the one right before he signed the UFC. Mm-hmm. How they called him on a few hours notice and went and fought this guy.
Oh fuck!
Few hours notice. Weighed in, fought the guy 5 rounds.
What a dog,
dude! Yes, at 18 years old.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so easy.
I just respect the fuck out of it.
I do too. Yeah.
The fact that this guy's just a year older than me, 2 years older than me, around there. It's just something. And he got signed while we were in high school, right?
Yeah.
Like that our senior year, right?
Correct. I mean, Contender Series was started in 2018, I want to say.
Can you actually go to his Tapology and look real quick?
Yes, sir. He got signed.
When was Contender fight?
So I remember correctly, he got signed off
2018
series. Yeah, and he was awarded developmental deal.
Holy shit, dude.
Came in, beat David.
Let's say the original Raul Rosas Jr. We got to put some respect.
You're not wrong, actually. Yeah, you're not
put
wrong.
some respect.
They talk about Raul Rosas like he's like the first ever team.
It's because Raul was underage. He was 17, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Granted, though, Raul turned 18 like a month later.
So it wasn't like he's fucking.
But it was still crazy though.
Right? It was crazy.
The way you said 17-year-old signing to the UFC, and then guys, you guys forget. We had Chase Hooper, 18 years old versus 18-year-old. Was it 18
versus 19?
18 versus 19 to get into UFC at the peak of Contender Series, right? Because that was when Sean O'Malley was.
That was like the first season whenever they were actually signing.
They had Snoop Dogg. O'Malley.
I think Rob Font that came off of that season too. Like there were some bangers.
We had some guys on there who didn't get signed who were great as well.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Young Chris Curtis.
Oh, was Brendan Logdane on that first season?
Yeah, I believe so. First or second. The Contender Series has kind of gotten watered down over time.
Austin Vanderford too? Pages.
Yeah. Correct. You know who they also had on there? They had Nick Newell. Whenever he had his one fight. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, you want to, because like they really didn't want to sign him because they had for a long time. It's like, that kid could get hurt here. You know what I mean? And I get why he didn't. So like, here's the Contender Series.
Nick Newell fought Justin fucking Gaethje in WEC or not? What was it?
World Series of Fighting. Yeah. / now PFL. Yeah. But
WSC. My bad.
Yeah, there we go. But anyways, man, yeah, banger. Excited to see Chase Hooper back. Terrence McKinney, friend of the show, taking on Esteban Ribovic.
Believe it or not, I think that's an Argentinian fighter. I could be incorrect.
We're gonna find out right now, Angel.
Let's see how good my memory is. Struggling there a little bit, Josh.
No, I had to pull back because I couldn't use my left hand. He is out of Argentina. You're right.
Yep, good young kid too.
Yeah, man.
He fought in Lux, maybe.
1-1.
Maybe I could be wrong. No, FFFC. Never mind.
Yep. Close enough. They all blend together. No, but actually, yeah. So I mean, excited to see that one, man. Should be a fun one. Terrence McKinney. I know that some people, I see him get a lot of shit on Twitter, and I don't fully understand it.
Because it's just because he's super proactive on Twitter, constantly tweeting, putting his name out.
But if you're talking about like guys who are just fun,
dude, he's that guy.
Literally every single fight since he's came to the UFC has ended by finish.
Now, granted, is that a good thing? Probably not. But
shit, man,
for him, you know, on the losses.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
granted though, Josh, we were this close for having Terrence McKinney in the ring because he's going to beat Drew Dober.
I know. In that fight, he took on like a week's notice too.
Which, hey, respect.
Savage.
An
all-time. Wasn't that a 1-round fight? That's an all-time.
And it was a banger for 1 round.
Yeah, it's an all-time 1-round fight.
Gassed, but hey, it is what it is. Granted though, how old is he? Can you look at the age?
29.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, who gives a fuck? Like, he can get there.
I believe he just turned 29. Yeah.
He can get there.
Yeah.
He has all the skills to get there.
Yeah, I love me some Terrence McKinney, man. Great guy. Very excited to see him back here. Tabitha Ricci. Say it forever. Friend of the show, Tabitha Ricci.
Baby Shark.
Taking on Tisha Torres, now Tisha Pennington. I guess they got married.
Congratulations.
Congrats to them. I think they just...
on their second child now?
Do they have 2 kids? I thought they only had 1.
I think they had 2. Could be incorrect. I think they had 1 and a second one. I could be incorrect. I'm perfectly wrong with being incorrect.
Apparently they have 1.
Only
they
1?
had a baby girl last June.
Okay, they just had their child.
But she has not fought. This is ending a 2-year layoff.
By the way,
for
cute
Tisha
baby
Pennington.
too. Super cute baby.
So ending a 2-year layoff here.
This is the start of Mama Tisha's era.
Yeah,
she's
Mama
about to
Tisha.
She's about to come in here with some. Hey, one Pennington already won.
Shit, dude. Could you imagine if they both like I know it's not gonna happen. Could you imagine like they're both champions? Like that'd be some crazy shit.
Dude, that'd be one of the sicking moments.
Yeah.
I feel like, dude, it'd be crazy too. I mean, I know it's wife and wife. It's irrelevant, however it is. You know, if it was husband and husband or husband and wife. But dude, that'd be sick anyways.
I'm not gonna say that. Anyways, yeah, like it was.
Has there ever been another time it was close? I mean, I guess Pat Barry never got close to that. It wouldn't have been at the same time then.
I mean, we could think. I mean, there's been like a lot of couples.
Wait, what was Ronda's husband?
Travis Brown, and also before that, she was with B-Shop.
Big
Brown.
Hey, Brendan Schaub beat Miko Krokop.
I will say, Brendan Schaub did date a prime Ronda Rousey. So I mean, hey, look, you know what I mean? There was a minute there where Brendan Schaub was like
that guy.
That he was like on Fox Sports. He was like on like. I don't know. Maybe he was like TBS. He was like hosting some reality show. Dude, he was everywhere for a minute. It was kind of weird. Dude, like, look, being friends with Joe Rogan, dog.
It worked out.
What did Cat Williams say? Joe Rogan's got 5 friends who are comedians and they're not, any of them are funny. Like, or some shit.
Damn, he dropped that joke recently?
He said it during like that long interview with like, I think it was Shannon Sharp. He's not wrong.
Oh, the one where he was like freaking out and saying all this crazy shit?
saying crazy
Granted,
shit.
though, can you really like listen to the guy who got choked up by a 13-year-old?
Never happened to me, is all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
And that guy was actually 17, I believe.
That 13-year-old was actually a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
That 17-year-old was actually Chase Hooper.
That 17-year-old actually won EBI.
Yeah, dude.
He actually won ADCC Nationals.
That 17-year-old is actually...
That 17-year-old was that was just Gordon Ryan.
That was Jon Jones. anyways. Yeah, so rest of the card, I mean, UC St. Louis. I mean, Charles Johnson. Another St. Louis native coming back here to fight Jake Hadley.
Hard fight for Jake Hadley.
Yeah, very excited for that one though.
By the way, Jake Hadley's UFC career in his eyes has not gone at all how he's wanted to. He's a good guy though. I mean, just a matter of time, I think. Too,
yeah, still young too. Very young dude. So excited to see where he goes. Jared Gooden taking on Kevin Jousset should be fun. And then opening up the card, Veronica Hardy.
Again, opening up the card, by the way.
Speaking, I mean, we were talking about just MMA couples. Wife of former UFC title challenger Dan Hardy.
Dan Hardy. What was Dan Hardy's moniker again?
The Outlaw.
The Outlaw. Oh damn, that goes hard,
dude. I mean, Dan Hardy. I loved. That was one of those guys when I was first like getting into MMA because I caught like the tail end of his career. I fucking love Dan Hardy.
I gotta admit, I do miss Dan Hardy's commentary and knowledge in the UFC.
He got fucked so hard. I really wonder like what the beat. I mean, he was always been out.
Well, we know
about,
why.
Like, fighter pay
and
stuff like that and refereeing issues, but we know why. But still,
it's crazy that one exchange though did it though in Abu Dhabi, and that was the end of it.
I know, and you know why? And it's like, you know why they got rid of it? Because nobody else had the fucking balls to call out that shit. Because for some reason they just like when it comes to, because Dana doesn't give a fuck. And that's something that he's talking about. He's like, oh, you know, like Dana, like whenever like what was Max Holloway, Calvin Cater, like that was going on.
He was worried for that one.
That's what he said. He's like, yeah, he was worried for that one. He was so worried. He got mic'd up to go have that moment with the cameras about him acting scared for Calvin Cater. And that's what Dan said. He was like, yeah, he's so worried that he took time to get 5 minutes to get mic'd up over in the back for do checks and shit. Like, yeah, but yeah, Veronica Hardy. 1-3 of her last 4, including defeating Juliana
Is she coming
Minner.
on? Is she getting it together?
I think she is. Taking on JJ Aldridge, a longtime vet.
Very winnable fight, by the way.
Very for both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
JJ Aldridge, longtime vet, very up and down. We know the story there, so we'll see how that goes.
I don't know. Veronica Hardy looked good in her fight against. Granted, she's a young gal, UFC debut. And granted, she did fight. You know, like her fight against Juliana Miller, like
she beat the piss out of Juliana Miller.
Yeah, and granted, splitting her last fight, you know, so be it. But I think can you look at that Darius Rican fight? I feel like she also opened up on that one.
I think you're right.
Like, or very early.
Correct.
I'm
and then I bet 286 she did the same.
100%. I know that one for a fact.
Dude, what the fuck? They're like, dude, we want Dan Hardy to get out of the fucking building as soon as possible.
Because he's in the corner, right? He's in her corner. Has to be, yeah.
Yeah, he's in her corner. Which, by the way, it's not a mystery to me that they got together in like 2020 or 2021, and now she's been undefeated since then.
All I'm gonna say is those Khalil Roundtree memes are crazy.
Greatest.
If you know, you know.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Oh, Khalil Roundtree dated Veronica Hardy for like a very long time. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, really? No.
Oh, dude, people are always okay. Well, by the way, you can only imagine like me just saying who she dated and who she's with now. Just know there's Khalil Roundtree memes out there.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Well,
you know, just think about that and think about the MMA community. Put it in your head.
Just
look around. Next time we get a chance, like
I'll look around.
That night when they're fighting. Just look on the comment section of Twitter for that.
I'll look.
That's all you need.
I'll look. Any closing thoughts on St. Louis before we go ahead and move on?
I'm excited. I'm really excited that they're bouncing back with like they're keeping to an extent. And like I said, I know people are having their opinions, but for me, going from 301 to this is still good. We're doing great. This is solid. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what they're doing in St. Louis, like I said. Or like we said, main event, so be it. But I think it's still a solid card.
I agree with you. It should be a fun night.
I'm invested.
I am invested as well. I think we should go ahead and move on though to some other news. Angel, last Saturday night we had UFC 301, but we had more than just UFC 301, my man. We had Canelo Alvarez taking on Jaime Munguia, Las Vegas, Cinco de Mayo. God damn, was that arena popping, dude. I mean, look, it seems like it's an absolute party anytime Canelo Alvarez fights on Cinco de Mayo, which makes sense. I mean, it was popping.
By the way, a lot of people watched.
Yeah, 100%. It's look, man, I've been very upfront about the fact that it was not the fight that I personally wanted, but I knew Jaime Munguia was going to bring the fight to him, and he did that for the first 3 rounds. In round 4, he drops him with a brutal uppercut. First time Munguia has ever hit the mat in his career. And from that point onward, it was basically just clinical. Ends up picking a lopsided decision win. And then afterwards, he's standing in the ring, and he sees David Benavidez out in the crowd. And he points to the ring. He's like, come here, come right now. Let's fucking go. Right now. Let's do it. David Benavidez did not go. So interesting, man. What'd you make about his performance? What'd you make about him calling out Benavidez? Kind of showing more interest in that fight.
Look, I mean, this is kind of the result I expected. Fuck, dude, he looked good. He's back. I don't know. He was never gone. But I mean, solid performance. Felt for Jaime Munguia, but at the same time, so young. He has time. 1 loss. Yeah. Brought it Canelo a little bit there initially, but damn, dude, when he got dropped, it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, it might be over. I thought he was gonna get him out of there after that.
Yeah, so did I. But look, man, Canelo Alvarez's knockout streak continues to. Well, I guess no finish streak continues.
But he's knocked down a lot of these guys, right?
I mean, he knocked. We can just go back.
He knocked everybody down except Bivol and what's the last guy he fought, right? John Ryder. He didn't knock down.
No, he knocked down John Ryder. I think 3 times. He knocked down Jermell once. He did not knock down Golovkin. That's what we were thinking. Golovkin and Bivol didn't knock him down, but his last knockout win was November 2021 against Caleb Plant. But look, dude, yeah, I mean, it was basically about as dominant as a win you can get, man. First couple rounds, like we said, it was early success for Munguia, but still, man, just he's Canelo fucking Alvarez. It was a real like you almost have forgot type moment, because even as somebody who's like kind of said that he's kind of ducking, David Benavidez, that's kind of like been why I've been so mad about it, because I'm like he can win that fight.
By the way, did you listen to Luke Thomas's take on this whole?
No, what did Luke say?
He said that he felt he wasn't happy with the matchup or the fight because, and it's kind of the grab he's had for a while now with Pereira because he wanted to fight Dave Morrell?
David Morrell or David Benavidez, I believe.
Yeah, those are 2 fights. He's like, he feels like he knows what's gonna happen in the fights. He doesn't know, you kind of know the result before the fight happens. You know what I mean? He feels like he's not sure. He's like, when I go into it, I don't know if there's gonna be any consequences, which I understand. But you'd have to listen to it. But it's just kind of something I want to throw out there.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking. I think I saw like a clip on Twitter.
Yeah, he went off a little bit.
Yeah, and I agree with Luke to a point, right?
Yeah.
Two things can be true at the same time. Look, this fight, we knew it was going to happen. We knew that Canelo was going to go ahead and win more than likely, right? Some people gave Munguia a good chance to win. I was not one of those people.
Nope. Same.
It basically went the way I expected. I even said on the show I thought like Munguia was going to have early success just because he comes out, he hits hard, but I didn't think he's going to be able to, over the course of 12 rounds, be able to stay with Canelo, and that's basically what happened. I get his point. Look, it's what we expected, and for that reason, you don't have to give Canelo like, oh my God, he's back, he's pound for pound number one. You have to say all that shit. At the same time, though, look, man, it was a good win. It was a great performance. I don't have too many issues with it. At the same time, though, I do get his point as well. You gotta fight the contenders, and Jaime Munguia, you can't, because like here's the thing, right? And I've seen all the talk. I've seen all the defenses. They're like, like Canelo. I saw somebody who's like, oh, a Canelo fight, it's a big privilege. You have to earn that fight. It's like, well,
Red Penny night.
It's like, and I get that. And it's like, but how the fuck did David Benavidez not earn that fight after beating Plant, let alone Andrade? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After
that one he did.
Yeah, it's like, what did Munguia do? Like he beat John Ryder. Like, and that no offense to John Ryder, but
finished John Ryder though, Josh.
Exactly, but still, dude, it's like, and then it's like, oh, what did fucking John Ryder? Do you even know who John Ryder beat to fight Canelo? You don't. Nobody does. You at the time, I'm sure, but fucking a year later, you don't remember. Nobody remembers because you know why? Because until now, it's never been an issue. You know what I mean? And look, if Canelo just wants to be like, I don't like the motherfucker, I don't want to fight him, that's fine. But instead, he's like, you got to earn it, or I want 200 million. And I know he's just posturing. I think he's gonna make the fight.
I think he is too.
I think it's September. I think because Edgar Berlanga, dude. If he fights Edgar Berlanga over David Benavidez,
yeah, but at the same time,
don't talk to me for like a year.
I don't think Edgar Berlanga wants that fight though.
He
does, but he doesn't.
You think okay? It's one of those. Yeah. Look, dude. I mean, they got a book.
Well, you saw Caleb Plant though, trapping that Edgar Berlanga there.
Dude, Caleb Plant wants to smoke.
DTF fighter of the week, right there.
Caleb Plant is the down to fight fighter every single week. Every week. Because you remember that time he fucking smacked the shit out of Jamal Charlo backstage?
And then there was an apology about that?
I think Jamal apologized or something.
Yeah, he said I was out of line or some shit.
Yeah, because I guess like they were talking and he like grabbed his.
But Josh,
he pushed him or something.
That's not even the biggest news that's come out because his greatness.
Oh, you're right.
His greatness.
Just keep on sucking them off. Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Turkey Al-Sheikh has announced that he is in the works to get by the end of the year or early next year.
Correct.
Terrence Bud Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
To happen.
And look, I will say this much.
Dude, you can't hate if that fight happens.
Yeah, like it's one thing, and I know somebody's gonna be like, "You guys don't even know shit about boxing," or because like we're saying it's not a bad fight. But like, look, dude, if there's a chance for there to be like that much history made, like two top pound for pound guys, and I understand Crawford fights at 147, but he's already moved up to 154. He's gonna fight Madrimov in August. It's like here's the way I want to do it, right? And I know this is like you could lose the fight in the process, but if they build it up the right way, it'd be incredible. You know what they got to do, Angel? They got to have Terrence Crawford fight Madrimov in August. In September, October, somewhere around there, Canelo Benavidez. And then maybe December, because these guys will fight. You've noticed, right?
There's some quick turnarounds.
You see, I'm sure you're thinking that. But whenever his excellency is involved, randomly, boxers are willing to make quick turnarounds.
You're not wrong. Deontay Wilder,
Zhang did it, Parker did it,
Tyson Fury,
Joshua did it, Ngannou did it. Everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Have him fight in December, maybe against a guy because he's fighting 154. Maybe have him fight at 161, get a title there, and then you have him move up to 168. show that he can fight at these other weight
Give
classes.
him like a little
give
guy
him
holding like an inner title. Or
yeah,
something.
have him get like a fractional title, like the WBA fucking regular title or some shit against some guy, right? Like, I don't even know who the middleweight champion is at this point.
Look.
but-
If I'm being honest, if they gave me the option, like if Angel, you get Joseph Benavidez,
holy
Bud
shit,
no, or you get Crawford.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against Canelo, you get to pick who.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss a lot of boxing fans off.
Oh,
because I know the purists want Benavidez.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I said Joseph Benavidez. I mean,
yeah,
Benavidez.
you're good enough. You're good enough. Yeah, that's why I laughed.
Dude, give me. But could you imagine Joseph Benavidez?
Joseph Benavidez.
Benavidez is gonna transition to boxing.
Don't worry, he's getting another title shot. This is the time. This is it, baby.
We'll get it finally. But no, if they gave it to me, David Benavidez or Bud Crawford, I'm being honest. I'm picking Bud Crawford every single fucking time. I'm sorry. Just the history, like you said, is big. Dude, the legacy, the meaning. Dude, like, if I'm honest, like, who would give a fuck of that? Like, if that was Canelo's last fight, like Bud Crawford, so be it. You know what I mean?
It is.
If he had to go, I put it like, think about it. If he had to go out on one of those two, which one do you want?
It's tough, right? It's tough. It's one of those things too that it's like I think we're biased too because like as much as like I think the Benavidez fight is like it's a much better fight. I'm not sure how competitive Crawford Canelo is. But at the same time, like I fucking love it. When guys strive for greatness. Like when Canelo wanted to move up, fight Makabu. Or whenever he did fight Bivol.
I wish he did fight. Dude, I'm telling you, I wish it would have happened still. I know you shit on it, but in hindsight.
Well, he would have won, probably. I think he probably
when Makabu lost to Badu Jack, like
a 47-year-old Badu Jack who's coming up from fucking.
But granted, though, think about how big the difference is between those guys, though, in weight class. Still, that's why I still think.
No, I agree. It would have been interesting.
Fuck whoever. What was it? The WBC that blocked WBA?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Fuck the boxing sanction.
Fuck them.
Fuck the Mayweather. What?
Fuck the Mayweathers. Fuck the Mayweathers. No, but anyways, yeah. So I think, yeah, man. Look, you cannot go wrong as long as either Canelo against Crawford or it's Canelo against Benavidez.
Either one of those two at this point. Anything else is a loss. I'd say
anything other than that is a fucking. I just can't.
It's a big L,
massive L. But dude, I just love it when guys strive for greatness. I love to see guys who are like, you know what? I am that fucking good. I am gonna move up 3 weight classes and fight the sport's biggest star because I'm that fucking guy. Like I love that shit. And and that's what Crawford wants. And Crawford, right after he beat Spence, he said it multiple times. I was like, yeah, I want Canelo. I want Canelo. I want Canelo. Couldn't get the fight. So now you know what he's doing? He's moving another weight class. He's gonna go for a 4th title in another in that 4th weight class.
And the best thing is the guy who could possibly make it happen is now in the mix. Yeah. His excellency.
Yeah, exactly. And like I see people and they're always like, oh, these fights make no money. And it's like, besides the point. You know how much the Saudis are worth? Like trillions of dollars. Like they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. So
that's why they just spend it.
Basically, yeah. So look, Canelo, as long as he fights Benavidez or Crawford next, it'll be cool. If he ends up fighting Edgar Berlanga or some shit,
you know what's crazy, Josh?
I'm going to lose my mind.
Last week we talked about how Canelo hadn't gotten with the Saudis. That might actually happen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was only a matter of time, honestly.
Look, they might not give Canelo that 200 mil, but I feel like they could get
close.
They could get damn close to that number. I'll tell you what. Yeah.
For sure, man. Look, dude, if they're throwing like, I mean, they're throwing so much money around. It's ridiculous. So I could see them giving him like 100 million.
I don't know, something out there.
Yeah.
What's the highest payout they're giving out?
I want to say they gave Joshua. Now, granted, this was years ago, but I think they gave Joshua 75 mil for fighting Ruiz the second time in Saudi.
I mean, it was at peak too, Joshua.
Or maybe it was the Usyk fight. Regardless, he made like 75 mil.
Oh, dude, they could easily give Canelo 100 mil then.
Exactly, yeah.
100 mil and not look back and be comfortable with that.
Oh, yeah. Not a doubt about it.
And stack the card under it too, which is, by the way, that's the other thing we talk about. They could have that fight happen and below it have great fights too.
Exactly.
Shit, actually, you know what they could do? They could make that fight happen and right under it, David Morrell,
David Benavidez. There you go. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, man, there's so much opportunity right now. Boxing. Look, dude, it's actually funny because this guy just retired and we're going to talk about him in a bit. I saw Matt Brown did like an interview and he was like, boxing is stuck in the 90s. And I'm like, dude, brother, the sports have flipped. We're not getting the best fighting the best in the UFC.
Not anymore.
For the most part, they make the big fights. but they don't make them all.
Not
And they
always.
do shit like push Colby to get a title shot out of nowhere.
And look, we had this.
Ngannou walked.
By the
I
way,
mean,
and to an extent, we had that example last week. I mean, we had as much as we enjoyed the fight, as much as we gave this, we had Steve Erceg,
he was
Pantoja.
right number 10.
Granted, though, competitive,
Yeah,
good.
But they don't follow the rankings anymore. They don't make all.
And on
the
top of
big
that,
fights.
and if it was best fighting the best, it would have been Demetrius Johnson.
oh, you're right. You're
and
right.
I'm just saying.
But it's not about the best. That's what these new fans don't get, man. Like once you stick around for long enough, you see that. Like you see.
I think that's why
you
the
know.
significance of Volkanovski Islam Makhachev was so big.
Because it was a very, very good example of the best fighting the best. But here's the thing with that. Then they pissed it away by making a rematch on a week's notice.
Right.
So now you locked that fight
It's
out.
over. They
It's
just
over.
threw
It's
it
done.
away. They
Threw it
could have
away.
had it all. Rolling in the deep. Adele. Halle Favors. I'm blessed.
I'm blessed. Highly favored. Yeah. Did you see Oscar De La Hoya in the music video for that?
We don't have to talk about that.
He was him and his
Lady friend
lady friend,
and little people.
the little people. Yeah,
I think that's the proper terminology.
I believe so. We're very
We're woke.
culturally aware.
We're woke.
We're woke.
We're woke.
We are woke.
I
We're
mean,
woke.
don't do Dana was
We're
trying to
woke.
be woke on Netflix.
I saw that. He was like, my name's Dana. Isn't that trans enough for you liberal fucks?
It said you guys only give me a minute to talk.
Which is hilarious. 'Cause why even fly him out there at that point? You know what I mean?
Hey, Max Holloway and Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, right. Why were they there? You know, I mean, I'm glad they
Hey,
had
it was the
fun.
BMF.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean, Josh? What kind of fucking statement is that?
I guess it's more like why did Dana have anybody come with him?
The baddest motherfucker on the planet was in that place. If
Hey,
shit
look.
got mixy, he had Max Holloway to back him up.
If shit got mixy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Dude, Tom Brady might try to kiss Dana. Like, they needed Max Holloway there.
That's true. Tom Brady can't stay away from men's lips. It's a real problem he has.
I mean, shit, you saw how close he got to the comedian after he
He
made
lo-
that comment about the Patriots owner.
Yeah, exactly. Bob Kraft loves to go to massage parlors, and Tom Brady loves to deflate balls. What are you gonna do? You know, I just can't get past the fact that it's the way. I'm gonna go on a rant, Angel. It's gonna be a short one, but that's just the way sports work, bro. I don't get it. Like, I watched Tom Brady every single year have a cheating scandal for like a decade, right? And now it's like, yeah, man, we love Tom. All that Tom Brady had to do to become a hero was have Patrick Mahomes enter the league, right? It's all it took. You know what I mean? Although I'm not gonna be mad. I mean, fuck, dude, 3 Super Bowl rings.
Also, who gives
The
a
new
fuck?
GOAT?
Who gives a fuck that Rob Kraft gets fucking hand jobs and he gets massages?
Well, the authorities care. the
league.
the legal entities care. You know?
The NFL is
But
so disappointed in Robert Kraft.
They dropped the charges pretty quickly because they're like, you know what? Well, fuck. Wait a minute. How many zeros do you have in your bank account? You can't go to jail.
Dude,
What do you mean?
you were the Jets coach who was seen at that bar grabbing that chick after they lost that game.
No, are you thinking about Urban Meyer, Jacksonville? Dude,
He was a Jackson. Oh, I forgot.
Dude, this dude straight up
What a Chad.
lost the game, and then went to a bar and was seen like fingering a girl, like her ass, like it just in public. And it's like, dude, you are
A family man.
By the way, I should say, it was not his wife. It was not his wife. In case you're curious, it was not his wife. And dude, like,
Did we talk about that Urban Meyer situation on the podcast way back when?
I don't think we
We
did.
might have.
We might have at one point. But dude, and here's like the funniest part about that too. It was like it came out like a day later.
Dude,
that,
not
like,
even Jon Jones would do such a vile thing.
dude, a player Jon Jones, not with a woman, not with a woman, but if you're hearing the reports, maybe with a man.
What the? Oh,
You haven't heard about this?
the MMA guru shit? Is there
Not even just MMA guru, but there was the comedian Def Noodles, who was like, yeah, Jon Jones. I don't think he knew who he was, but he was like, yeah, like this MMA fighter was like at like my comedy club, and he was like, he had a male friend with him. He was just touching his dick and grabbing his dick all night. No, I'm dead serious. This is what happened.
We need to see. You need to show me this shit after the show. Please do not forget.
For the record, I don't care that I think if Jon Jones was gay, it would actually make him more likable. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, you know what? There's some things I don't know about Jon Jones.
This is why. Maybe this is why he has issues.
I don't.
Do you think he's one of the fighters that reached out to?
You think it was Jeff Molina?
He reached out to Jeff Molina. You remember Jeff Molina said some fighters reached out to him afterwards. Some fighters in the UFC who were closeted homosexuals.
Dude, like I said, I'm not even joking. It would actually. I'd be like, you know what? good for you, John. Good for having. But also, I don't think he's actually gay. I
He
think
could be bi-curious.
Maybe. Hey, look, dude. You get that tequila in you, and then you're like, hey, you know what? Sure, he's a femboy, but no.
I mean, John does like to get his drink on, right?
Shit, John likes to get everything on. Apparently,
You need to show me this shit afterwards.
I will show you afterwards. But
Move
yeah,
on.
so for the record, we're gonna talk about Jon Jones in a couple minutes, fight related stuff, not bi related stuff. But anyway, so we do have a little bit of news going to get to since we were talking about boxing a minute ago. Ryan Garcia officially tested positive after defeating Devin Haney last month in New York. He failed 2 different drug tests, I believe the pre and post fight for the New York State Athletic Commission.
Josh, it was the ashwagandha, dude.
It was, that's right. It had,
By the way, did you see the company that
they had steroids.
they came out and were like, no,
Yeah.
guys, this is not, you know?
Well, so I'm going to be really fair here. I think Ryan Garcia's defense of it was the ashwagandha, and they're doing this to me because I met Donald Trump. Not great defenses, and they really make me want to shit on.
Do you
him.
think that's better than the Shaggy defense?
I mean, it's basically the equivalent. No, it's just it's neck and neck. No, but like, I mean, his
With this hold in court, I mean, OJ was held in court.
glove didn't fit. No, but I mean,
The gloves do not fit. It does not acquit.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, jokes aside, Ryan Garcia, he failed for Austrian, which I believe the official, like, it helps you retain muscle mass while you're losing weight. And then he also tested positive for the anabolic steroid nandrolone. However, nandrolone, he tested for such low quantities, and then they tested the B sample and they came back negative. So basically, it was more than likely, people don't know this, nandrolone, you do produce like a very small amount of nandrolone naturally. And so that was basically, from my understanding, what they found in his test. When they retested it, they found like it was such low quantities, it was probably naturally.
In the midterm, though, Josh, is he getting off free?
If I had to guess, he's probably going to get off free. Now, I will say that he's not in the clear. Nandrolone, he's probably in the clear. But as far as Austrian, they would have to test his ashwagandha, which that's not, if I looked at the supplement, it's not a fucking FDA approved one. It's just, just some shit that's just put out there on the market and did not go through a bunch of tests. And they said like, oh, it doesn't have it in here, but it's not like they would fucking know. You know what I mean? Shit gets cross-pollinated all the time.
So if it came in and the ashwagandha does have,
then he would get off free, yeah.
But at this moment in time, he's in the clear.
In this, no, he's not in the clear. He's in the clear on one of the 2 substances. But that's the issue when you fail a drug test.
For now.
Oh yeah.
Until
He's in the clear on nandrolone.
I will say, I imagine the commission, whenever he does fight again, they'll be like testing him way more, be more proactive, right?
I would assume. I mean, look, it's a. I've never seen, and I don't know how you feel about this. And for the record, I don't give a fuck. I've said this on the show before. I do not care about steroids.
I knew this was coming.
I don't care. If I win the lottery or if I hit the big parlay, I'm gonna go ahead and start my own MMA league where steroids are not only allowed, they are encouraged. Right? Just because it's just more entertaining. Pride never die, brother. And I'm also not. But at the same time, I'm not gonna pretend that these guys aren't on juice. You know what I mean? Like, if Ryan Garcia didn't fail his drug test, I would still think he's on juice. Devin Haney, I'm sure, is also on juice. You know why? Because the vast majority of these athletes are on fucking shit. They're just working with guys.
Is Mahomes natural then, Josh?
I actually think Patrick Mahomes might be natural, because have you seen that guy's fucking body?
Dude, yes.
Dude, it is hilarious.
He's natty. Tom Brady natty?
I think Brady might, probably not. Just because of his recovery. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt once every 4 games. But Brady fucking didn't miss a game for he missed one season.
Is LeBron natty? He's one of the most questioned ones in all sports history, right?
I mean, does the Pope shit in the woods? I mean, I don't know. Jokes aside.
I know Chris Paul's daddy.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be delusional. I say people who are like, how could Ryan pass the drug tests in the build-up and then fail it right before? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, dude, you gotta know masking agents fucking exist. Do you not know? And also, the substance he took would not provide him.
There's so much shit, dude. Those
Yeah.
2 pounds made a really big difference. Those 2 pounds, they made all the difference.
Yeah, dude.
If Ryan didn't have those 2 pounds,
Yeah.
Devin would have won.
Yeah, like
Dude, the comments, dude, I didn't go back.
yeah, just ridiculous shit, dude. I mean, but and like the weight didn't make it, dude. Because Devin Haney, Devin Haney. Here's the reality: Devin Haney just didn't cheat as good as Ryan Garcia did. That's just the way it works. That's the way combat sports works. Look at them. Look at Ryan Garcia and Evan. They're both shredded out of their fucking tree, and you're trying to tell me that, like, oh, it's in the ashwagandha. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Ashwagandha, the 2 pounds.
The 2 pounds. Oh God, he missed weight. If he didn't miss weight, oh God.
Ryan, Devin would have won. Those 2 pounds were so much.
Yeah, I don't care. But at the same time,
it's not like Devin Haney rehydrated. It was only
Dude,
probably like a pound.
You know what Devin Haney weighed against Regis Prograis? That motherfucker did an Alex Bahale weight cut. He weighed like 170 against poor fucking Regis Prograis, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
I wish I knew how much they rehydrated for their this last fight.
I know. I'm pissed they didn't fight in California. I would have loved to see. Dude, Ryan comes in at like 180. Oh fuck. But yeah, I mean, look, dude, this has been the funniest fucking fight of all time.
By the way, dude, when Charles Oliveira missed by that half pound when he lost his time, that's the reason
0.25. 0.25. It was 0.25.
That's why he beat Justin Gaethje.
That's
Josh.
why, yeah.
That's why he beat Justin Gaethje. How can we be such fucking imbeciles?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, this is the funniest fight of all time. As more time goes on, it just keeps on. You know what? This
Dude, their rematch will be legendary.
No, he said no rematch. You see Ryan's video of him like touching the ashwagandha bottle. He's like, "Thank you for giving me everything I need. It's no rematch. No rematch."
Fuck you, Bill.
Fuck you, Bill. Fuck you, Bill Haney.
Fuck the Haneys.
I saw a video came out. I don't know why. I don't know how I didn't see this. It came out like the night of the fight, but I didn't see it until recently. It's Ryan Garcia in like round 8. Like it was one of the rounds he knocked down Devin Haney, yelling at Bill in the corner. He's like, "You're not gonna stop this, Bill."
By the way,
your son, Bill.
Did you see the footage of Devin's mom fainting?
I did, yeah.
Dude,
in round 7.
I was like, dude, like full on faint too.
Dude, both Haneys hitting the ground at the same time. It was unreal shit. You can't write it.
Dude, if that was a bit, that was great.
No, dude. This is fucking coming off the dome, dude. I don't have skits and bits. I'm coming to the show with skits and bits.
And Haney hits the canvas. Wait, not Devin Haney though. It's in the crowd.
Oh God! No, no, but anyway.
Could you imagine they come through and Haney hits? But you're like, Devin's still standing.
wait. Oh God! It's right. Like just no, but like yeah, like
we're terrible people for that one.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a really funny fight. I think everything about this fight, the build up, the aftermath, the situation as a whole is so fucking
Ryan's
fun.
dad in the back with what's his name? The English guy, the promoter,
Eddie Hearn. Oh my God. We didn't talk about that. Yeah, dude. Ryan's dad was like,
they're going at it, and then they're cool. That was so weird.
He's like, fuck you. You know what you said. Eddie Hearn's like, man, fuck you. I didn't say anything. What's your fucking deal? And he's like, who you want next? He's like, do you want to fight Boots? And he's like, hey, you know what? It's like, yeah, we good. We good.
No, he hit him with one of these.
He hit him with one of these.
Like,
we're good. Yeah, exactly, dude. The funniest, dude. Ryan fails 2 drug tests for 2 different substances, and then you know what he's like? He's like, you know what? This is it. Time for the diss track, and then he drops the diss track.
Highly favored.
Highly favored.
I'm blessed.
Highly favored.
Highly favored. Yeah. I'm blessed. Dude,
I'm highly favored. No, it's just
with the Oscar De La Hoya music video too. To talk it all.
The funniest fight of all time. I don't care. You know what? Fucking let Ryan walk.
Dude, but Josh,
I don't care.
You remember how we were talking about this? Like you were like Devin Haney's. I'm like, Josh, Ryan's gonna do it, and it's gonna be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
I never expected it would be this funny though,
dude. Ryan Garcia talked shit, did drugs in camp,
got drunk
all the time, showed up on weigh-in day and missed by 3.5 pounds,
drank a beer
on the scale, juiced up, failed for 2 different substances, won the fight, and then dropped a diss track. Failed the drug test, dude. He is the hater of the year, dude. It's for 2024.
It's like Jon Jones and Roy Jones Jr. had a baby. You got the rap and the music from Roy, and then you got the fucking psychotic mess of John, and together they made Ryan Garcia.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, dude. Hey man, and you know what? Ryan is Ryan Garcia the new Captain Hook? I mean, fuck,
Dude, with the star power.
Exactly.
That dude.
Anyways, yeah, Ryan Garcia, hater of the year 2024, massive lead over the
Dude,
competition.
he might be. Dude, no joke. We're gonna look back at this, and moment of the year is gonna end up being Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney.
Oh, not a doubt in my mind.
And at the moment, it doesn't seem like anything else is close.
no. I mean,
I mean, Francis up there losing, hurts me. And then, I'll stop there.
stop there. Speaking of Francis, the man who ran from him for 3 years. No, I'm not going to do that. Jon Jones, who we talked about a little bit earlier. Jon Jones this week making a lot of headlines. Jon Jones said that he's officially verbally agreed to return to the UFC against Stipe Miocic later this summer. He had a whole big Twitter Q&A. That part really flew under the radar. The part that everybody's talking about, however, is that after he fights Stipe, if he beats Stipe, who, I mean 42 years old.
It's been 4 years now.
Yeah, hasn't won a fight in 4. I mean, we got the
stats.
the last time that he won a fight. I mean, I'm not going to go over the whole fucking thing that we went over last time, but I mean,
2 dead men have more recent wins.
Rumble Johnson has a win more recent than Stipe Miocic, but that's besides the point. Jon Jones, he said
Elias Theodorou has a win more recently.
R.I.P. to the ring boy.
Spartan.
Yeah. So Jon Jones said he's coming back. He said that after he fights Stipe, he said that Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Who is Tommy Aspinall? No, I want to fight Alex Poatan Pereira and give him the chance to fight for the heavyweight title. Yeah, exactly. And he wants to do it, and he thinks it's going to be a huge fight and make all the sense.
I don't disagree, though.
You know what? That's funny. So everybody hates on that fight. I've seen so many people shitting on it. I've seen a lot of people saying he's ducking Aspinall, which
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a secret.
That's not exactly. He's being pretty upfront about that fact, But that being said, Angel, I actually don't hate Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira.
After Stipe.
Here's my thought process on it, right? I want to see Jon Jones. I need to see him fight Aspinall. The guy is the interim belt. It's already bullshit that they're making him fight Curtis Blades.
You think they should say fuck Stipe and fight Aspinall instead? I feel like that's actually the real play.
That should be the real play, but I get why they don't want to fuck over Stipe, and I get that they want to give Jon Jones a chance.
And that fight was already kind of promised to Stipe, so they want to be fair. So
exactly, and that's why I don't want to see them take it away, because that'd be pretty fucked up. But I also think it's pretty fucked up to make Tom Aspinall defend his interim belt whenever Stipe is good to go and Jon is coming back and they're going to book that fight anyway. It makes no sense. But look, I need to see Jon Jones against Aspinall. But after that, I'd be down to see him fight Alex Pereira. That's a huge fight. Jon Jones is correct. That's a massive fight. And Poatan's shown interest in going up to heavyweight. He has managed to surpass all expectations thus far. But we can also just be clear. It's a money grab by Jon, and it's also a massive. I mean, dude, come on. If you're gonna,
but the fight's
much better matchup.
So it's low risk for Jon, I think, just because it's a new weight class for Alex. Alex is not a wrestler. Jon has a great wrestling. Granted, it's an older Jon, but it's heavyweight.
Coming off an injury, I mean,
and Alex wouldn't have fully adapted to heavyweight, but has great stand up.
Yeah.
But for Alex Pereira, Josh, as a legacy fight.
Yeah.
For one, fighting arguably the GOAT of MMA for some people.
Yeah.
Or the GOAT. And on top of that, challenging for a third title.
Yeah.
And potentially being the first ever 3-weight champ in a major promotion, let alone the UFC.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
As a legacy moment, as a multi-sport athlete, that's an insane fight. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh. I think of the UFC, and I hate to say it, especially how big, right? Like how the peak of Pereira is the fan base.
Yeah. And
I don't know how UFC 300 did, right? We don't have the numbers for that.
The rumor is 1 million for pay-per-view.
You can't tell me that Jon Jones, Alex Pereira as a main event, wherever the fuck it be, Vegas, MSG, Allegiant Stadium, the Sphere, doesn't get you kind of going a bit.
Yeah, it does. It does get me going. It's an interesting fight. You know what I mean? Because Alex Pereira just managed to surpass all expectations thus far.
But you know what else we could do,
big
Josh?
Guy too.
This is gonna sound crazy. No one's ever talked about this. Why don't we do Pereira versus Aspinall title defense?
Mm-hmm.
He has to, not a heavyweight.
Yeah,
he's coming up. It's a big fight for. I'm saying is, No one's talked about that.
Well, so there was the talk about it going for 300, and Alex, I guess, like I think even I remember Tom said that the UFC offered that fight to Alex, and he's turned it down because he's like, I want to stay light heavyweight for the moment.
Also,
for the moment.
Also, on top of that, he wouldn't be prepared to fight heavyweight.
No,
I think. I mean, realistically,
yeah, it's.
But I think now
I agree with you. I very much agree with you. I think
that'd be the real fight they're making away.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Aspinall against Alex Pereira in the UK, July.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Winner gets Jon Jones.
Winner gets Jon Jones. Do it. They won't do it
because they're not smart like us.
No, but I think it's more likely. I could see them.
Dana, sign the contract.
I could see them doing Jon.
Dana, send the fucking contract.
Dana, help us out.
I'm here. I'll make good fights.
I'm here. You know, fucking
what's that for?
Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. Okay. You haven't seen that clip? Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm never mind.
Anyway, so yeah, Jon Jones, Alex Pereira. Look, dude, I'd watch it. I don't want to see it next, but I'd watch it. I think Jon Jones is correct. It's a bigger fight. As much as I love Tom Aspinall, I think he's the future of heavyweight. Alex Pereira is a bigger star. It'd make more money, and I get why Jon Jones wants that fight. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't even blame Jon Jones for this. I don't blame Jon Jones. You know why? Because he shouldn't even have that fucking belt around his waist right now anyway.
Damn.
It's true.
Let him know.
It's true. I mean, dude, come on, think about it. Fucking think about it, dude. He won that title in March of last year. Hasn't defended it a single fucking time, right?
Granted, he did get injured.
He did get injured. You're right. So you know what? You know what happens whenever that happens? They had an interim guy win the belt. You know what they're doing? They're having Jon because Jon doesn't want to fight the interim guy. They're having him fight Stipe and then maybe Alex Pereira. You're not wrong. You see, just fucking nut up and strip Jon, and then this problem is solved. Because then Jon can fight whoever the fuck he wants. Alex Pereira, other money fights out there for him. Who gives a fuck? You're not champion. But if you're gonna hold the fucking belt hostage, you should fight the guy with the other belt in the division. It's so easy. It's not a fucking. We're not out here fucking. Oh God, I wonder who Jon's gonna fight. Might as well do Alex Pereira. No, there's another guy with a fucking belt around his waist. It's stupid. But look, I'd watch it at some point. I'd watch it at some point.
Yeah.
It's not before Aspinall though.
I get it. No, I agree.
All right.
I can agree.
Fair enough. A couple quick things to go ahead and head out with, man. The immortal Matt Brown, an all-time fun fighter. You know, we talked earlier about there's categories of fighters. They are guys who are just fun guys. You know what I mean? Now, granted, Matt Brown nearly fought for the welterweight title at one point. He had other good runs. But look, man, hasn't fought since a knockout win over, I believe, Court McGee about a year ago. He said he was actually hoping for the UFC 300 call against Jim Miller. Jim Miller said he wanted that fight. That was the one he wanted. Matt Brown accepted. Instead, they booked Jim Miller against Bobby Green. I had to watch A10 get murdered for 3 rounds. But look, man, Matt Brown retiring the ripe age of 42, but goddamn, he still had it. You know what I mean? So what do you make of the immortal walking away?
Respect. Left on his own terms. Happy for him. I know he's been doing coaching. I'm sure that's going to be fun for him, and I'm sure he's going to be a great coach. So it'll be nice that he's still sticking around in the sport. I'm happy he has something to transition to.
Yeah, for sure, man. And working with Mark Coleman too. Coleman's will become one of the main coaches at that gym too.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Man, this Mickey Gall return's about to be crazy. By the way, is that fight still happening?
Against Basil Hafez?
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Yeah.
That got announced like forever
ago. It might be
ago.
next week. No, it's not. I know it's happening on a fight night though. Just can't remember which one. No, it's not. I'm fucking stupid. UFC 302 in Jersey. They're giving him. Oh my God, he's gonna die in front of his
the return.
The return.
The return.
Eileen Perez. No,
God. Opening up the card too.
Opening up the card.
Yes, Jocelyn Edwards.
Anyways, yeah. So shout out Matt Brown, dude. An all-time fun guy. I mean, my favorite Matt Brown moment. I don't know if you have one. Him facing Diego Sanchez, and I want to say Nashville. On the undercard of, I believe it's like Cub Swanson versus Artem Lobov, which is the funniest main event of all time. And Matt Brown, you know, Diego, I think he like got his back at one point, and then Matt Brown just shrugged him off. He's like, you know what, fuck this shit. They stand up, and he just walks him over to the cage, holding his leg, because I think Diego like threw like a leg kick or something, and he just murdered him with an elbow. And you know what they did? They like the camera's like fucked up, so they like cut to like the backstage press conference. So I remember watching. So I'm watching this live. We
need to find that. I'm sure that's somewhere out there.
Oh, dude, I'll pull up the clip in a minute, dude. I'm watching this shit live. I see Matt Brown land the elbow, and then instead it just cuts to the back of fucking. I'm like, did he kill him? Like, How bad was the elbow? Because it was like a freeze frame moment. It's Matt Brown like, huh, and then it cuts to the back.
I don't think it's gonna get better than that.
But anyways, yeah, all-time Matt Brown moment. He had some other good ones, like he's had so many wars, so there's so many good fights to pick. But yeah, shout out Matt Brown, man. I love seeing guys exit on their terms and with a backup plan. So he did it the right way. I think he owns like a coffee shop or some shit. He's
cool.
diversifying,
Cool.
man. Anyways,
just like Carlos Condit.
Yeah, the natural born brewer. Shout out Carlos Condit, man. 2 fights, I guess, I don't even know, not announcements, but I guess postponements, I guess I would say. June 1st was supposed to be a very busy day for combat sports. Still is, slightly less busy. UFC 302 going down that day. Matchroom versus Queensberry going down that day. However, that card has lost its main event. Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol being moved. Dimitri Bivol is going to fight some undefeated, like 14-0 Libyan dude who doesn't have a Wikipedia page. But he's bumped down. Main event's going to be a Wilder Zhang. However, Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz also being postponed to July 6th. Everything else still the same from my understanding. But they did not want to go head to head with the UFC, which is a very good call. Not a whole lot to say about these, but quick thoughts.
I mean, obviously disappointing, right? Beterbiev Bivol was one of the most exciting matchups of the whole year, so that's obviously a letdown. And then what'd you say exactly happened with Masvidal and Diaz?
So they did not want to compete against UFC 301.
So they're just holding off?
That is correct, yeah.
That's weird, though. I mean, that was already an interesting idea anyways, that they were going to do that. And they had that date set for a while. Just an odd one, but hey, smart. So be it.
Yeah. And the guy he's going to be facing is Malik Zinyad. Yeah. 22-0 out of Libya.
Hey, his moment to maybe make some magic happen. I mean, very... And unknown, but in boxing, that's the thing, dude. When you don't know these guys, usually the common, what we do know is going to be the thing that shows up. But hey, we've been wrong in the past, and it's his time to have a Cinderella story. So if anything, be hyper competitive out there and have fun.
It'd be, hey man, I hope it puts on a show, and that card.
Even if he doesn't win, he can come out of that with some stock.
Yeah, and look, if there's a card to like debut on, it's that one,
right?
Well, a lot
of pressure,
all-time great in Bivol. So we'll see. This one I kind of just threw it in for fun, honestly.
We've seen some clips already.
We've seen some clips. So The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who apparently likes pissing in bottles on set. It was like some weird report.
I heard something about this too. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Some bad headlines for The Rock recently. However, he has started his MMA training.
Who's he training with, by the way? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Oh God! Don't tell me it's some random little gym they got.
He probably is, if I had to guess. But he's doing his MMA training for the Smashing Machine movie. Gonna portray former UFC heavyweight Mark Kerr. They had obviously the Smashing Machine documentary back in, I believe, 2000. I want to say,
which is great. I've never watched it, but I need to.
Yeah, great doc. Very depressing. And it's gonna be directed by Benny Safdie. One half of the Safdie brothers, created Uncut Gems, Good Time, other bangers. And look, man, you've seen some of the training footage. What did you make of Dwayne going out there?
I mean, he doesn't have to look great because it's very early on MMA days, so he doesn't have to look clean. Actually, I think it's good that he's not going to be... He shouldn't try to look super good, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And, look, I'm pulling up the footage right now just so we can go ahead and go back over it real quickly. I mean, he looked, for a guy who's, The Rock's like 45 now, somewhere around there.
And huge.
He looks not that bad for what this is.
He just has to sell it for a little bit too.
Exactly. He doesn't have to look great, and
By the way, this is one of the roles where I feel like The Rock has had like action roles, but I don't take him serious. You know what I mean? Where he's in like kind of kid-like movies, and he's not a serious role. This is like the first role in a while where I think The Rock is like actually gonna act as like I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to act his balls off.
Dude, here's the reality. The Rock is going for the Oscar. Look, dude, this is what happens, right? Some of these guys, like Adam Sandler did it with Uncut Gems, right? And even then he was like, if I don't win the Oscar, I'm never trying again or something like that. And I don't think he got nominated, which was bullshit.
Because he had a great performance.
So The Rock is his Adam Sandler, I'm going for the Oscar.
Because like when you think about Rock movies, what's like a Rock movie you're like, damn, The Rock just
he acted his balls off. I can't think of a single one.
Like he's been in movies, done a good job. He's done his part, but it's never been like, I feel like in this movie, like that'll be it. It's a serious role. It's sad. It's dramatic. He's having to prepare for it. And he has, for him, luckily, a bunch of media on this person. So hopefully he can make something of it.
Yeah, and The Rock, I mean, you just said it. Like he's had a lot of movies where he's not really I mean, I can't even remember. Like, it'd have to be like an early one. You know what? I'll say this: Ballers. You've seen Ballers on HBO? TV show.
Is that the one with the basketball players?
It's about football players.
About
And he
football
plays
players?
like a football like agent,
Oh, I might
like
be
a
thinking.
corporate guy.
I think of a different one.
Anyways, that shit was good. He was good in I believe it was The Rundown. The Rundown and Walking Tall I liked. But he's basically been phoning it in for a long time.
Yeah, and then, I mean Black Adam, you know.
Oh, that was rough. But yeah, I mean, look, dude, excited to see it. Hopefully it's good. I've seen so many people shitting on it, and I get it. I get why.
When is it expected release? Like 2026?
2025
Oh,
next year. Yeah.
Okay.
So, because
We know no CGI, no nothing like that, probably, or
No.
not much at all. I
Probably
imagine.
not, no.
Probably for the arenas and stuff.
probably not, but I'm very intrigued, man. I'm very.
Dude, I wonder if
intrigued.
they'll do the scene in Brazil. I don't know if you know about that.
No, I don't think so. Tell me about it.
Oh well, I think Mark Kerr, go back. Can you look at Mark Kerr's record real quick?
Yeah.
Him and I can't remember, but another wrestler went down and fought in Brazil. I could be incorrect. This one you need to look
Vale
at.
Tudo, maybe.
They did like a Valentino fight. Right there.
Paul Verlaine,
Dude, it was like some crazy shit. I can't remember who went with him. If somehow you can look at the card, him and another wrestling guy, his name is escaping me right now,
Was
went
it
down to
Mark-
Brazil
Mark-
randomly and fought on this card. See it. And it was some crazy shit because it's like 1990 something. These two white guys, you know, from America are flying down to Brazil to fight on this
I
card.
think it was Mark Kerr and Paul Verlaine. Paul Verlaine fought in the UFC for a bit.
There might have been another. I feel like there was another guy who knew about this. I can't remember. I could be incorrect.
But anyways,
but
yeah.
still crazy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he really does have a great story. I mean, a guy who started off so fucking good and then just steroids and substance abuse, it just took his toll and he was just never the same.
He's doing better nowadays, though. You know, he's still out there.
Yeah.
He seems happier, healthier.
Yeah, which is good.
Good for him.
But anyways, yeah, so shout out The Rock, man.
It's sad,
hopefully
though, that
it's-
he's not, like, in anything with the sport
Yeah.
to an extent. But,
Makes sense, though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So-
it took a lot.
Yeah, it took a lot of them.
Yeah.
So any closing thoughts on that or anything else, man?
No, I'm just excited to come back next week and recap. You know, the typical. And obviously, this next month that's coming up.
Yeah, stacked.
Yeah. Just got to get through May. And June's going to be all worth it.
Yes, sir. And next week, dude, Tyson Fury, Alexandre Usyk in Saudi Arabia.
There you go. Another one.
Gonna be a fun one. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _1 at Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and butt grease. No mouse click.